You guys, no, we've been on a plane, so it's really, you guys can sit. Careful, one of them is falling though. I fell on Lauren earlier, so I did fall for Lauren. It's hard not to.
Excellent.
So let's just start off with some of the simple stuff. Like, what are you guys most excited about being out on the Winter Jam tour?
I think our thing we've been looking forward to the most is being in Houston, Texas. That's it. We had some. What was the name of that? We were up in Humble, Texas, and we had Tita's Tacos. Oh man, whew, legit.
Were you guys telling Britt about that? She couldn't stop talking about Tita's.
Yeah, I don't think she got to go, did she?
She didn't.
We got to go. We went before Britt. We got up real early, but we had some breakfast tacos. Does anyone here like breakfast tacos? They were dynamite. Dynamite.
So when you guys say early, what is early for you? Is that like lunchtime? Like what's early for a band?
This morning my alarm went off at 6:24. Usually we all have kids, so usually probably between 6 and 7 is the normal morning call. On the road, I might get crazy asleep till 9, 10.
You rebel. What time are you guys like going to bed though? Like on the road or when you guys are at home? Are you guys like early? Are you guys? Just don't take this the wrong way because I'm a grandpa too. I'm in bed by like 8 o'clock if I can be. But how late do you guys? I don't have kids. I don't even have the excuse.
I'm with you. I go to bed early.
Yeah.
I like to get a tight 9 hours of sleep. No. I have no problems going to bed at a responsible hour. My mother would always tell me nothing good happens after midnight, so I take that to be true.
Yeah.
Jeff's the first one in bed on our bus. So like show's over where Jeff's in his jammies. Like he might come sign your stuff in his pajamas. The rest of us might hang till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys function well off little sleep. So the bunk situation, sometimes, I'd never been on a bus till a couple years ago, and I tried that experience once. They feel kind of like coffins on a plane, because there's a little turbulence sometimes. But I've heard that there is preference for some of the artists about which bunk you want, because the top ones really can be rocky, and the bottom one...
It's just a matter of physics, right?
Well,
so if you see a bus, there's bunks, right? So there's 3 bunks high. So a tour bus can seem like a really fancy commodity if you compare it to a car. Compared to a car, a tour bus is really fancy. But if you compare a tour bus to a house for 12 people, it seems less fancy. So we've got like 12 people all packed in, on top of each other basically, and it's 3 high. And the higher you get, the more sway the bus gets. So it kind of feels like a large person is just rocking you to sleep, holding you in their arms. It's pretty beautiful.
So who likes to stay on the top and middle and bottom?
I try to go as low as I can. I sleep down on the floor.
I'm a middle bunk guy. The bottom, sometimes I catch people's shoes. They put them down there, and then you get the smell of the shoes kind of wafting up in your bunk, so I stay away from there.
I'm a middle man myself, although I have a bottom bunk just by default. So
Oh, you lost out this time. Sorry.
it's all good. I can still sleep anywhere.
Hey, I'm going to let Mike ask you this question in a minute, because I know he's a big fan of your video devotionals.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you this. If you could go to any meal, you get to choose it with any Bible character, where are you going and who are you taking?
Whoa, that's such a strange question.
Right, like you could go to Papacitos, is that right?
Yeah,
Papados, yeah.
Anybody like besides Jesus, or can you pick
because he's
Jesus
there.
too?
He's everywhere.
Oh, right, okay.
I didn't mean to Jesus juke you. Yeah, I totally did.
I think I'd probably hang out with Peter, just because I assimilate with Peter a lot, because he was always making bad choices and just being stupid, and God just kept on forgiving him and working with him, and so I relate to that. And I think we'd probably eat, well, he's from Israel, so some Israeli restaurant, get some fresh hummus.
Like hummus, yeah.
Yeah, and some delicious fish.
I like it.
Freshly caught fish. Some couscous, perhaps.
You're very thoughtful. You
All
wouldn't
these
want to
kids are
introduce
looking
them?
at me going, this is boring. I don't like this answer. Yeah, Peter and an Israeli restaurant.
Not even a little upset about that. Well, you don't want to introduce him to any American food? Okay, none.
You want to answer?
I mean, if you want, yeah. I mean, maybe Joseph, and I just keep telling him my dreams and see if he would decipher them for me. You know, just try to stump a guy.
Okay, hold on, real quick about the dreams. What's the weirdest dream that you've had that Joseph would have to interpret? You can think. You want to think about that for a minute, because I've had some weird ones. One time I was a vending machine. It was crazy. Yeah, I know, weird, right? And then I was also a monkey. I have interesting dreams. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's good times.
Well, okay. What was the question? I missed it.
Who would you go hang with? Bible character.
And where would you go?
And where would I go?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. I would pick Moses, and I'd probably go to a coffee shop and be like, look, part this coffee. And if you could or couldn't, that's all right. He's still Moses.
Yeah.
But I'd ask him about him and Aaron's like dynamic. It always seemed like they were really different. I don't know. Yeah. It's pretty weird.
No, it's normal.
Wasn't it like God was like, Moses, do this, and he's like, I can't. And Aaron would always like be doing the stuff, but Moses is like the hero of the story. It's kind of weird. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
Is that my off?
Right?
Yeah. Like Aaron was always like, okay, yeah, but Moses was always like, I can't do it. I don't know. Anyway.
I could just I'm trying to picture Moses like, you can't do it. Like,
Can't do it. I don't know. That's what he sounded like.
Okay, you got your dream yet?
I don't remember dreams very well. I would have to ask. My wife always has this terrible reoccurring dream of a tidal wave, like wiping out, and she's like deathly afraid of water, like ocean and like big waves. So I'd want to know want to know if that's in our future. Like, is that near future for us? we got a tidal wave coming. So yeah.
So does that mean you guys can't vacation at the beach because she's afraid of the tidal wave?
As long as we don't sleep on the beach, we'll be all right.
Good. I feel like that's a good rule of thumb in general. Okay, so I did want to talk to you. I know you just released a new video journal not too long ago, Mike. But you got punched in the face. So how did that whole thing happen? Did you actually get punched, or was it like slow mo and it just looks like it? How did that work out?
I did actually physically get punched in the face by someone with a boxing glove on, so it wasn't as brutal as you might imagine. Has anyone here been punched in the face? I've been. Okay, that's a lot more people than I actually expected. It was kind of a new experience for me. And so I do these teaching videos online, kind of explaining our songs. And in this particular video, I was talking about a song of ours called "Fighting for You," and it's based on Exodus, where it says God says to Moses, "You just need to like chill out, and I'll fight for you." And so I was kind of explaining that. And anyway, I get punched in the face a lot. So if you want to see me get punched in the face, you can go online and watch that.
Now, how did you come up with that whole idea of just getting punched in the face? Were you like sitting there, like, perfect, boxing glove, face?
Well, I was talking in the video about David and Goliath, and how I grew up in the church. How many of you guys go to church regularly? Okay, so you've probably heard about David and Goliath, and probably you've heard that David and Goliath is a story about how you're supposed to be like David and go kill the giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that based right? Well, I would actually argue if that's the way you hear that, you're hearing it completely wrong. The story of David and Goliath is about Jesus. You go, what do you mean it's about Jesus? Well, look, you've got the shepherd who takes off his armor and he goes out and he strikes the head of the enemy. He cuts the head off. And a little known fact, the Philistines worship snakes. So most scholars believe that Goliath would have been wearing snake armor. So David, the shepherd, takes off his armor, goes and defeats the enemy, cuts his head off, and then gives a victory to an army who didn't lift a finger to accomplish it themselves. What's that sound like? That's Jesus. And so the story of David and Goliath, the story of the Bible, isn't you need to go be a hero like David. The story of the Bible is Jesus was your hero, and you just need to receive the victory from him. Can I get an amen? So that's what that's about.
That's good. I like it.
Don't get me started.
No, right, we only have a little bit of time. So the other thing is, my understanding is I've seen you guys' videos on Instagram. You guys all love coffee. Like, you're kind of obsessed.
Oh, what a sweet jewel. A nectar from the Lord above.
So has there ever been a time on the bus where you guys didn't have coffee? It was 6:45, whatever time you guys wake up, and you didn't have coffee. What would, and if that's never happened, what do you think would happen? God forbid.
Where did you think the punching video came from? That's basically how it just resorts into violence very quickly.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever been without coffee. I think we really stack. I mean, we've got bags of coffee on the bus right now. We're ready for.
We'll roll into an airport, and Mike will have a like carafe thing and a water boiler and a measuring device, beans spread out
Always sets off
on
the
this
alarm.
table. Yeah,
Security.
I've witnessed him in church before pull out like this hot mug, only to pour what's in it into a regular mug to drink in church.
Man.
We're serious.
The best is when we actually will carry all of our stuff, like Jeff said, when we go on flights, we'll carry all of our coffee stuff. And where do you get your hot water when you're in an airport? Well, Starbucks, of course. So we'll go and we'll get Starbucks hot water, and then we'll use their counter, and we'll make our own coffee on Starbucks counter.
How much coffee are we talking a day? Like you start it when you're up?
No, just like
early and-
1 or 2 really good cups of coffee.
Good cups, though.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Oh, creme de la creme. I like that. So, okay, well, coffee's one thing you have to have on the road then. What's something else that you feel like you have to take on the road with you?
My pillow.
Oh, you take your own pillow. You don't use a bus pillow.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
My own pillow.
On this tour, I brought a basketball because we've been hooping. We've been hooping, man. And any basketball fans out there?
Spurs!
We were at somebody saw James Harden today in there. I didn't see him, but when we were in the Pacers arena, I got to high five Larry Bird. Do you guys even know who Larry Bird is? He came walking through the practice gym. Larry Bird is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And I high-fived him. And then he held me in his arms like a little baby. No, he didn't. That didn't happen. I wished it did. It was amazing. High-fived him. Basketball. What do you need, Jeff? What do you bring on the road?
Fresh pair of underwear.
Just one?
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
It starts off fresh.
Nah, I don't know. What am I thinking of when I leave the house is, do I have my phone charger? Do I have my toothbrush? That's about it. Everything else, secondary.
Now, when you guys are on the bus traveling between cities, you're stuck on the road for, I don't know, hours at a time. Do you guys like ever prank the people on the bus? Or is there a rule against it? Like, what happens when you're trying to do that?
I really love scaring people on the bus. It's one of my favorite things. Tim, our tour manager here, that's Tim.
Hi, Tim.
can you wave? There's been a lot of times that I've hidden in the bunk area, and when the door opens, Tim walks in, because he's usually the last person in, and I'll be hiding in his bunk. I'll have crawled into the end of his bunk, and so he'll be getting into bed, and then I'll reach out and I grab his leg, and just a tutorial on how to scare someone. It's essential that there's a physical contact and then a menacing noise, an undistinguishable menacing noise. My go-to, I learned from a friend of mine that was one of my roommates who used to scare me all the time. I go for the calf grab and at the same time, so there's a bit of a, I don't know what that is, but I'm really scared. And I've scared Tim probably 30 to 40 times. It's amazing.
Has Tim ever gotten you back? Payback?
No. I'm still waiting.
You're too nice, Tim. This is what you do. You just like put something in his coffee mug so he can't have coffee for a little while.
That's it. We also Tim loves Oreos. So when Tim turned, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't mention the age, but when you turned a certain age, we stacked his bunk full of Oreos. So he had packages of Oreos. So it was like, I mean, over 50. And they were just stacked in his bunk, and he had to deal with those for a weekend.
When I bought the packs of Oreos at the grocery store, I had over 50 packs of Oreos in my shopping cart. And people were following me, going, "What you doing with all those Oreos, man? You're crazy." It was awesome.
So did you guys help him eat the Oreos at least, or did he like start, nope, these are mine? Like,
No, he repurposed them for his son's wedding.
What?
He used them all at his son's reception.
pranks on you.
I went, "Dude, I bought these for you." And he said, "I can use them any way I want." Although we've recently discovered Oreo Thins. Have you had the Thin Mint? Oreos. Ooh. Yeah, I try to not eat too much sugar actually, because sugar, that's a whole nother conversation. Sugar is really terrible for you. So we rejoice and celebrate sugar, but it's really a thing used by the processed food industry to keep you enslaved to their products so they can make money off of you, even though they know it's killing you. Look it up. Look it up. Get educated. That just took a detour. That was not a detour. I don't even detour. I don't know what detour. I suddenly became French.
That's the French way of saying it.
J'adore detour.
So what's your, like your one-two, since you're talking about sugars and sweets that you don't have because it's bad, but what are the, if you were on the rare occasion, what's your like go-to sneak snack that you're not going to tell anyone about? It's going to get you through a hard day.
Well, the go-to on our tour, Tim here sets up his little office, and he keeps a bowl right by his computer of dark chocolate peanut M&Ms. It's just a big bowl of them, and every time you walk into the dressing room, you can't help, your hand, you can't stop it, and before you know it, you've put an M&M in your mouth.
So that's it, you just steal his M&Ms. Well, it's fair, I guess you guys bought him 50 some odd bags of Oreos, so I guess it's kind of fair. What would you guys say has been the funnest part about getting to talk to fans and stuff over the years since you guys started out to now? What's been your best experience with fans?
I don't know, I'm a little distracted right now. What's this guy saying? I know, he probably needs a hug, huh? I get it. Should he get the microphone? You want to hear what he's saying?
No.
We'll have to go talk to him later. The best part about talking to fans, obviously, is just hearing how your music helped them, you know? I mean, you write these songs and you dream of them meaning something to someone else as well. So the more we can help convince you that because of Jesus, God has nothing but grace for you now, and he's not going to use hell and brimfire to change you. He's gonna absorb that wrath through Jesus, and he's gonna give you mercy. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing that we get to proclaim at night after night. And so getting to see people actually believe, maybe for the first time, that God is ready to forgive them and ready to show them grace and mercy, that's a beautiful thing.
I love that. We all probably have a favorite 10th Avenue North song. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh yeah, I love this one and that one. But for you guys in this season, for each of you, what is your favorite song to sing right now in your life? It doesn't even have to be your own song, maybe. You know, like something just really speaks to you.
Yeah, I've been busting this. Switchfoot has a new song on their last record called I Won't Let You Go. You can let the pain of the past go. Oh man, that song slays me.
That's a tough question, so I'm going to narrow it down to probably our last record for me. And on there's a song called Afraid. And just a simple reminder of, you know, the most repeated commandment, do not be afraid. And, you know, dark times, times where you question, times where there's a lot of uncertainty. It's a good reminder for me, so I love singing that song.
Yeah, I'm with Jason. Same thing.
Afraid.
I don't sing a lot of other people's music, so just our own.
No shame in that game. Hey, we are so thankful that you guys would be here and that you would give us some of your time. And I know we got to get you off and into the stadium to do your thing, get ready. But can we give it up one more time? Who's excited to see